Welcome back to the Seamus Gorman channel, where every video is a table video, except the videos that aren't table videos. I'm going to stop pointing at you because this is making me uncomfortable. So a few months ago, I made a video called Pixar Tier List, and a lot of you really seem to enjoy it, which can only mean one thing. It's time for a sequel. So welcome to Pixar Tier List 2, or Harry Potter Tier List 1. I don't really know. Now, a lot of you pointed out that I didn't actually have to make the tier list myself because apparently there's a website called tiermaker.com where it literally makes tier lists for you. So today I thought I would try that out and make a Harry Potter tier list where I rank all the forms of Harry Potter canon, not in terms of how canon they are, but in terms of how much I enjoy them. Because the canon idea was actually way better. I really don't know why I'm doing this in terms of my personal enjoyment, but hey ho. Name a template. Harry Potter canon. So I've chosen 20 things that I think could be considered Harry Potter canon, and I'm going to get into all of them later, but for now, we need to name the tiers. And I've actually had a very clever and really simple idea where we can name the tiers after the exam grades that they get in Harry Potter. And yeah, that's what I'm going to do. So yeah, so you've got O for outstanding, you've got E for exceeds expectations, you've got A for average, was that right? Acceptable, sorry. P for poor, D for dreadful, and T for troll. You must be logged in to create a new template. Okay, so apparently I have to log in with Twitter. Really? Yeah, okay. This was the easy option is to log in with Twitter. Give tierlistmaker.com the right to follow and unfollow accounts for me, update my profile and account settings, and post and delete tweets for me. I'm gonna have to make a new Twitter account, guys. Was this really the simple option? And one Twitter account later, here we are. That really wasn't any easier. And all the images are slightly cropped in a weird way, which is really gonna annoy me, but I guess you gotta give the people what they want, right? So the tier list is going to include all the books which were the first way I consumed Harry Potter, and I would say should be the first way you consume Harry Potter. I don't like to hear this, I don't like reading malarkey. They're good books, and they're easy to read. Kids can read them, so you don't have an excuse, unless you literally can't read, but yeah. We've also got the films, which I don't have a strong connection with, but I did recently just watch them all in one sitting to prepare for this video, and you can see that video live on my Patreon right now, or on this channel once this video gets 10,000 likes. I'm probably going to upload it anyway, but like the video. We've also got the Fantastic Beasts films, which obviously aren't a finished product yet, but I'm going to rate them at their current standing, 2 films in, and just that's where we're at. We've got Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, Quidditch Throughout the Ages, and The Tales of Beedle the Bard, 3 books from the Harry Potter textbooks section of the world. That's a thing that exists. And of course, J.K. Rowling's Twitter account, everyone's favourite thing in the world. Yay, that's going to be fun to talk about. Anyway, let's get started with Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, as in the book, where it all got started. And I'm feeling for this one, I'm gonna go exceeds expectations. I'm gathering it's a popular opinion that this is the best one, but I strongly disagree with that. I see the argument that, oh, well, none of the others would exist without the Philosopher's Stone all the time, and it's stupid. It's a stupid argument. Sequels are allowed to be better than the original, and you know what? It should be encouraged that sequels are better than the original, and in the case of Harry Potter, the sequels are all better than the Philosopher's Stone. As harsh as it is to say, I actually think it's the worst book. And that's not a bad thing, because it's still really good, but the others are just better. So next, I'm actually going to move away from the Harry Potter books right away and go into Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, which I also think goes in exceeds expectations. I think this film exceeded my expectations. I don't know how popular this is, but I think this is a very, very good film. I think prequels are very difficult to do because you want to film them with fan service and set up the original stories, and I don't like it when they try to do that. I like them to tell their own story that's just different, but within the same universe as the original stories, and that's what Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them does brilliantly. The characters in Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them have no real big connection to Harry Potter, other than Grindelwald, who's only really in it towards the end. Dumbledore gets mentioned once, and it really succeeds at being its own story within the Harry Potter universe. And a lot of prequels fail at that, including the sequel to Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, which we'll get back into later. But for now, Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, very good film, and I still have hope for the series because it is actually good and J.K. Rowling isn't writing the new one on her own anymore. Next, we're going to go into the Chamber of Secrets, which I'm going for it. Outstanding. Unpopular opinion, but the Chamber of Secrets is a perfect sequel. Most people, including myself, can only remember Harry Potter since it's been this 7-story thing, and don't remember there was once a time when Harry Potter was just a story with a sequel. A sequel which builds upon the success of the original and adds to the lore really well. And if you ever get a chance, try and read the Harry Potter books pretending you'd never read them before and not knowing anything, and really try and tell me the Chamber of Secrets isn't a perfect sequel, because it's really good, and for that, it's getting top tier. I don't think there are many people that would put Chamber of Secrets top tier, but I will. Next up, I'm gonna do Tales of Beedle the Bard. Next up, switch it up a bit again, let's do the Tales of Beedle the Bard, which I'm putting in acceptable, because I don't think it's bad, and this might be too high once I've put the rest of the stuff in, because looking at it, there's actually some really good stuff down there, and that might be quite high, and maybe I'll move it later, who knows. I think the Tales of Beedle the Bard is 5 really fun stories, and the fact one of them even comes into play in the Deathly Hallows is great. It gives you this idea of what wizarding history and tales and myths were like, and yeah, I like it. I'm giving that a big A for acceptable. Or average. Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. I also think this exceeds expectations, and I think it's better than the Philosopher's Stone, so I'm going to put it above the Philosopher's Stone. They're going to be ranked, like, in order in their tiers as well, if that makes sense. So it goes Prisoner of Azkaban, Philosopher's Stone, Fantastic Beasts, where to find them at the moment. Prisoner of Azkaban's a weird one, because it doesn't really fit with the rest of the story. Like, I feel like you could have left that out, and other than the whole Sirius and Wormtail side of it, you wouldn't really have missed that much. Voldemort's not in this one, and it's kind of like the year where nothing really happens, and I think it's necessary because I don't think you can just jump straight into the serious stuff, so you kind of need that transition year where you're seeing they're getting a bit older, but it's not like a fun, I don't know what the word to describe the earlier ones is, adventure story, maybe? But despite that, it doesn't feel like a filler, and I don't actually know anyone where this is their least favourite one, which is really a testament to how good it is, because it could really easily be the worst one if it was not that good. And the fact that it somehow was still good is really impressive for this one. Made even more impressive by the fact the movie is the best movie, and I'm gonna rank the movie on top of it, because the movie is so good. I've said it before, and I really can't stress it enough. This movie is beautiful. Like, it's so well shot. The cinematography is just incredible, and while they may just sound like buzzwords that I'm throwing at you to make it sound like I know what I'm talking about, yeah, that's true, but it is a really good film. The Goblet of Fire, and I have some exciting news for you guys. We have a new #1 on the list. This is a really, really good book. I love the whole Triwizard Tournament aspect to it. I think that's a really clever idea, and I don't know, I feel like I really enjoy weird tournament sections in stories. It's the same reason I like Monsters University. I feel like I brought this up in my Pixar tier list, that it was like the Triwizard Tournament, but I don't know, I'm a sucker for it for some reason. Things start to get really serious in this one, and I personally am a much bigger fan of the more serious books. I don't know, it's just like, it was already good before, so yeah, #1 for now. Okay, let's bite the bullet. J.K. Rowling's Twitter account. Now, for the most part, I kind of find J.K. Rowling's Twitter account annoying, because why don't you just put the stuff in the stories if you're going to change them on Twitter? But I also find it really funny how everyone just makes fun of her now and laughs about it, and it's all just one big joke, so okay, it's getting kind of overdone now, but it's still funny. And I feel like up until recently, it wasn't really hurting anyone what she was doing, but recently, yeah, so she's got no excuse. She's going in T, which could also stand for the T in LGBT, which she should really learn to have an understanding for. I'm not good at this. Moving on, we've got the Order of the Phoenix, which is going to join the very overpopulated Exceeds Expectations, and is going to go in between Philosopher's Stone and Prisoner of Azkaban. I think it's a bit long, to be honest with you. Like, if you don't like reading, this is a bit long. I still think it's really good and has arguably the best ending in the series with all the stuff going on at the Ministry of Magic, but the whole book just feels too drawn out, and there's just, like, not enough happening considering how long it's going on. And I think it speaks volumes that the longest book is also the shortest film, and Order of the Phoenix film, I also think is maybe better than the book. I think the way they deal with that whole Umbridge Filch thing, they turn about 400 pages into about 5 minutes. They even think there's an argument for them doing the ending better. Like, some of these things are made for movie, and I think the Dumbledore-Voldemort duel is just, yeah, it's made for cinema. So yeah, I'm still not 100% sure on my opinions on the Order of Phoenix. I think it's probably a good story. I just get a little bored in the middle, and yeah, if it was a bit shorter, it would probably be in O, but it's not. So it remains in E. And I promise I'm not going to rate any of the other Harry Potter movies as better than the books. This isn't looking very good. Wait till the end. I really don't like some of these films. Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. It's to no one's surprise, I don't think, that this is also my favourite one. It wasn't letting me put it there. It is better than the Goblet of Fire. I believe this is the best one. The last one at school, Harry and Dumbledore building this close friendship as they learn more about Voldemort together and finishing with Dumbledore's death. It's amazing. I don't have that much more to say on it. It's the best one. It just is. Next up, we're going to do Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, the book, which I think is poor, really. Like, Tales of Beetle the Bard is at least made up of 5 fun stories, and Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, the book, is literally just a magic textbook, and I really can't see the purpose of making it, other than for someone like me, who wants to research for a theory and learn more about the magical creatures in the Harry Potter universe, and I can't imagine they've just made an entire book for people like me. So I know I am fully aware this book wasn't made for people like me. It was made to make money, because, yeah, this book is a complete cash grab. It's literally a magic textbook, and it's not very fun to read. And that's what brings us on to the Deathly Hallows, the final book, which is a really satisfying ending, and honestly, it could challenge for first, but it's not quite good enough to win. It is still worse than Half-Blood Prince, but it is a very strong second, and I really don't think there's much I'd change when it comes to the Deathly Hallows. Like, I have a few nitpicks, but it's pretty much the perfect ending to the series, and perfect endings don't come around all that often. Deathly Hallows and Half-Blood Prince are just the pinnacle of Harry Potter, and they're really good. I've got to stop saying they're really good. I guess with all the books done, this list looks a bit top-heavy, and it was always going to be a bit top-heavy because I do really like Harry Potter, but yeah, let's get into the films. It's gonna start filling up around the bottom now. Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. Acceptable. It's better than Beetles of Bard. The Beetles of Bard. Yes, I'm gonna get that wrong a few times this video, aren't I? The first couple films are fine because the books are quite short, so they didn't need to leave anything out, and other than the child acting and the CGI not being great, I don't really have that many problems with them. They feel magical, the music's really good, they're just not as good as the books. It's that simple, and I feel like the same applies to the Chamber of Secrets, which I'm just going to put ahead of the Philosopher's Stone because I think it's still a good sequel and still better, but it just isn't as good as the book. It's fine, just not as good. Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, the movie. I really don't think there's actually much more I can say than just showing you the first few clips I recorded while I was watching it. See this as like a preview of what you can get if you get this video to 10,000 likes, so I released the video. Wow, after all that build-up, I can't wait for the Quidditch World Cup. Where's Winky? Oh, I forgot that Beauxbaton was an all-girls school. How did you put an end to the Goblet of Fire? That's how I remember it happening in the books. They changed and removed important things, and for that reason, this is going in poor. It's ahead of Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, the book, but it just feels like such a missed opportunity because I feel like the Triwizard Tournament was made for film, and I don't think they made the most of it, especially with the maze, which, what, eats them now? And I have the exact same problems with the Half-Blood Prince, where they removed half of Voldemort's memory scenes and literally made a movie about Ron and Lavender being in love. I don't even want to talk about it. It's the worst Harry Potter movie, and anyone who actually likes it, good for you, but read the book again and really come and tell me that, because I don't believe you. And honestly, up until my most recent viewing, Deathly Hallows Part 1 would have been thrown in with Goblet of Fire and Half-Blood Prince in poor. But when I watched them through the other day, my opinion changed. I think I just hated on this film because they left out the creature scene and thought they glossed over a lot of things, but they don't. It's actually not as bad as I remember it. I feel like it was the film I hadn't seen in the longest time, and for that reason, I'm throwing this above Chamber of Secrets and Philosopher's Stone unacceptable. And I always feel like when they split the final book into 2 parts and make a part 1, the part 1's always kind of unnecessary and all just set-up-y, but it was better than I remembered it. I'm sorry for the last video I did on the films where I criticized it so much, but yeah, it was actually fine. I didn't have that many problems with it, to be honest. I should have just changed this A to fine, because I feel like I've described all of these things in there as fine. Before we get on to the Deathly Hallows Part 2, I'm going to detour and go into Quidditch Throughout the Ages, which is better than Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, but still isn't very good. The thing that works for Tales of Beedle the Bard is that it's made up of short stories, and this one tries to do that, but it feels like you're reading a sports results book. And while I get having one of these for real sports, and I actually have this football yearbook from 2003 to 04 that I read a lot as a kid and know way too much about 2003 to 2004 football than anyone should. Quidditch is a fictional sport, so this non-fiction style just doesn't work. And it just felt money hungry again, in a way that Tales of Beedle the Bard never really did to me. Like, obviously it was, but it didn't feel that way. We've also got Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Grindelwald, which, unlike The Chamber of Secrets, is by definition a bad sequel, and I'm throwing it into D. It's so poorly made. I'm really sorry, because I know some people like it, and if you do, great. I'm really happy for you. I'm excited for the next one just as much as the next guy, but I don't think it's a good movie. It looks good, but the story has so many structural problems, and it just tries too hard to be a Harry Potter film. Like, I was enjoying the Fantastic Beast thing we had going on here. Anyway, I made a full video on that when it came out, and you can check that out if you want. Deathly Hallows Part 2, which I think is the best Harry Potter film, and I'm ranking it the highest of the high in exceeds expectations. It's borderline outstanding, but I wanted to keep that loyal to just the books. But if there was a film to ever break into outstanding, it's the Deathly Hallows Part 2. It's just full on action. It tells the story really well, and the Snape's memories scene is so good. While they did make a few changes to the books, some of which I really didn't like, others really worked, like Snape dying in the boathouse rather than the Shrieking Shack, which I think makes more sense, because how would Voldemort even know how to get into the Shrieking Shack? Like, I don't know, that didn't make any sense to me. Harry saying goodbye to Hermione and Ron, thinking it would be for the last time, I found that really emotional. McGonagall was perfect, and just the Battle of Hogwarts in general looked amazing. And I'm really happy with the finished product that came out. I'm saying that as if I made it. I didn't make it, no. I'm really happy how that film came out. And yeah, I guess that's my Harry Potter canon tier list. I'm sure a lot of people in the comments are going to disagree with that and tell me how wrong I am, because that's what they did last time. So make sure to do that and hate on me for opinions, because they can be wrong, apparently. But I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, make sure to leave a like. Remember, if this video gets 10,000 likes, I will release the Harry Potter watch-through video. But if you can't wait, make sure to check out my Patreon, where the video is live now for only $3 a month. Your support would mean the world to me on there. You can subscribe to my channel by clicking here. You can watch another video by clicking here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. That was really confusing doing Patreon first, but I hope some people actually check it out.